My department is, we are very early in the process. We help the developers create images and animations and illustrations early in the product development process. So we are, our work rarely meets the customer. It's about getting them further in their process in a short amount of time. So we help them in their process. That's what we do. Our day-to-day job is like we receive mostly SolidWorks files from the developers. We take them into Max and convert them and perhaps edit the mesh a bit. Apply materials from our model bank, or we create own materials from samples and makes a lot of images for them to look at with different materials and different geometry so that they can make decisions from these images. If we need a photographer to look at our images, what we can do it better, we have them here. If we have need a new script, we have technical developers here that can help us with that. So there's a lot of competence, and that's really nice to have, since you will develop yourself when talking to them. So it's that's a really good thing.
We're at the very start of the pipeline. So when a model is ordered by iOS, an article model, the 3D coordinator starts to look at the article and see which materials are needed for this. And if we haven't made them already, they order new materials from us. Then we make them.
Oh, the material pipeline. It goes like this. We have a sample, a product that needs material. So we study it and see how it's made. If it's a fabric, how many threads, how the weave looks like, and then we need to have the diffuse color. It needs to be perfectly correct. So we print out and compare to the sample, and sometimes we need to take a photograph. We have a black studio downstairs, so, and we are trying to create materials so we can use the textures for other articles. We are creating all the different maps in Photoshop, and then we put everything together in 3ds Max, and we're using V-Ray to render and to all the nodes and the values, and we need to look for the reflections and the gloss, and everything needs to be really accurate to get the realistic look. And now I'm working on a quilt cover. It's mainly the same color everywhere, but when you look at it, it seems to be striped. So it's striped, but it's the same color because the difference between the stripes, it's another weave, and the effect is a bit different. I need to mix a lot in V-Ray, in the shading, to get the result, because it's all about the reflections and the gloss and the Fresnel, and so it's funny.
I get a brief from an image producer, and the image producer has the contact with the people on iOS, IKEA of Sweden. So I get a brief with hopefully a drawing and an article number, and what should I do in this image, and what kind of image is it? Is it a main product picture, a quality picture, or is it a functional picture? We have 3 different pictures. So yeah, when I know what to do, I start to do my job, and sometimes if it's a bigger room set, or yeah, if it's just we need propping, for example, you know, products that aren't IKEA products, it could be plants or other things, then I need an interior designer, and sometimes I can be more creative, and then when I'm done with my image, I send it to a retoucher, and that's the final part in the chain. People often don't see the difference between our photos and our 3D images, and that's the best feedback we can get. So
I've been here for 14 years. I started out as a retoucher, and then I moved over to as a 3D artist. So for me, that started out as a retoucher. Didn't really have that 3D background. I could create good pictures pretty early, just because I had the image background, but not the technical background. But it didn't stop me. So I think Viri really helped with that. I mean, my responsibility is the lighting and composition. So basically what the photographer has in the studio. And besides that, I'm the extended arm for the interior designers as well. So we decorate the scene and set the light and set the cameras. And yeah, of course in collaboration with the interior designer and art director. I took the opportunity and went down to the studio as soon as I could. So I have been working in the studio as a photographer since then as well. So I kept doing it. So I maybe had 2 years of in the studio as a photographer, in between working as a 3D artist. And so in the end, working with both 3D retouch and photography, everything fits together. I mean, what I learn in the studio makes me a better 3D artist, and what I learn in 3D makes me a better retoucher. So I think working with all those parts have really made me grow, not only in one profession, but in all of them.
I think it's a very nice thing is that we, internally, when we talk images, we are very passionate and we try to make them look really, really, really good. From a technical standpoint, if I would have seen the images we do today 5 years ago, I would never think that would ever possible. So I think we have in many images have an image quality that I haven't seen anywhere else. So I'm really proud of the whole team, the artists and everyone all the way in the pipeline to make this happen.